No Spend February challenge, where I'm working to eat out of the fridge and the pantry and the freezer, and trying to spend money only very intentionally, only on things that we absolutely have to spend money on. I kind of just wanted to go over in this No Spend February how we're working hard to get back on track. Hey y'all, it's Erica with Time to Shrink. So, how's it going? So we're working so hard to get back on track, y'all, and I really think we are. I think we're putting a huge dent in getting back on track this month. All my credit cards are back to $0, and that's where I plan to leave them. I have a few things that I use to keep track of my budgeting, and I thought this week I would talk to y'all a little bit about how I set up my monthly budget and then how I keep track of spending week to week. This is something that I have done for years and then I let go of. When we had our house fire a little over 2 years ago last month, life kind of just like fell apart. It was a really traumatic, really crazy, really awful time. A lot of amazing blessings came out of it, and we were so loved by our community, but a lot of stuff just fell away. We went from living pretty much paycheck to paycheck, we weren't doing awesome, to having absolutely nothing, and then insurance money started coming in, and I had all of this money to build a house, to refurnish the whole house, to put clothes on our bodies. Every single thing had to be bought, and so all of a sudden I had all this money to spend, like all this money to spend, y'all. And at first it was really strange, and then it got kind of fun. And I only had so much. It wasn't like this massive amount, but it was a massive amount because of how much. And I did not budget it diligently. I kind of was like, oh, you need some clothes, here's some clothes, here's some clothes, here's this, oh, we need this for the kitchen, we need that. And I bought things left and right, and I tried very hard to only buy things, only bring things into the house that were going to bring joy, that I was going to love, and have some intentionality. Now, I didn't overspend. I spent exactly the money that they gave us, but I feel like I could have made it go farther, if that makes sense. I'm hot, y'all. I don't need this. Whew. It's hot in my kitchen. All that to say that money just kind of got away from me, and I kind of stopped budgeting for a good while, and I really didn't need to because we had this huge bucket of money. Looking back, I know we could have probably made that bucket of money go a little farther. I scrimped and spent hours and hours trying to redo our house on the budget that we had, and I did save a ton of money on the house and all the things that went into the house, this tile, the cabinets. It was like a full-time job trying to get under budget on that stuff, and I did a phenomenal job. But the furnishings and the stuff that we put on us, our makeup, our clothes on our backs, all of the stuff, I was not as careful with because it seemed like I had this unending amount of money. But of course it really wasn't unending. I realized last month that I have got to rein it in, that I am spending like I still have that unlimited stash, but that's not there. I have what we bring in monthly, and that's all I have. And we went a little wild at Christmas. I had a weight loss surgery, so we had a little bit that had gone on to the credit card, and I like to keep that at $0. So I told my husband, I'm going to go back to budgeting. It's what we need to be doing anyways, and we're going to do February No Spend month. So that's how we came up with this February No Spend month. Okay, all that to say, it's going pretty well, and I'm starting to investigate where our money is going and working on getting my budget back together. So I thought today I would show y'all what I do for my budgeting. First, let's go over how it's going, and then I'm going to kind of give you a little peek at how I budget. Sound good? If you're interested, you can stick around for that. Otherwise, I'll just tell you how we're doing right now. All right, so this is my little traveler's journal where I do my meal planning, right? So open it up. This is last week, so February 10th to the 16th. Here was what we were planning on eating. But basically, We ate this first part, and then here and here we literally just ate leftovers because we had quite a bit of the stuff that I had prepped, and I did not want anything to go to waste. I'm working really hard on this whole no food waste thing. So we really only cooked 2 nights and then ate leftovers and stuff out of the fridge. So planning wise for next week, 217 to 223. Sunday we actually had leftovers yet again because I did not want to waste anything. Tonight I'm going to do tacos. Tomorrow is going to be Parmesan pork chops and some cauli rice, like fried rice style from Trader Joe's, and a Caesar salad. Wednesday the kids eat at church, and so I just always write leftovers. My husband and I and my youngest son will have leftovers, and the older 2 will eat at church. Thursday I have some pulled pork that my husband had smoked. I'm going to thaw that out and serve it with barbecue sauce and mac and cheese for the kids. Friday will be leftovers, and then Saturday we're going to have chicken wings. We are actually going to be in town this weekend. Soccer is going to be local, so we will be home all week. And then this was our list, things I'm going to make. This was what I got for groceries. Let me show you that haul real quick. This was all from Aldi's, and it cost $10.21. So I sent my husband to Aldi's with the list. Got some cheddar cheese for Andrew's ham and cheese quesadillas. The shredded just does better in quesadillas because of that little bit of cornstarch. When you make quesadillas with freshly shredded, the cheese goes everywhere and gets outside of it, and he doesn't like that. So I got this for him. Got Caesar salad to go with dinner one evening. These flour tortillas are from my son Jackson's lunch, and then Caroline wanted peanut butter and jelly, so we got a thing of bread. I already have peanut butter, and we were out of grape jelly, so got some grape jelly. And then I asked him to get a heavy cream. He got 2, which is fine because we'll always use heavy cream. So $10, not too bad. And then I always write what I'm gonna prep, and I usually prep on Sundays and Mondays. So that's the plan for the week, and I'm not planning on spending any more grocery money than I did right here, the $10.21. So pretty excited about that. I'm hoping that this will be the extent of my spending this week. We shall see. And then this was my spending this last week. It was a little spendy this last week on things that I had to spend money on, but these did not come out of my food budget. So a couple trips that the kids are going on that I had to pay the church for, that came out of a savings account. Vitamins, that comes out of my miscellaneous account. Definitely didn't have a choice on that, and this is actually 3 months worth of certain vitamins, so it's really not that per month. And then WLS conference coming up in May in Orlando, and I decided to go. I'm super excited. I'm rewarding myself with how good I'm doing with my weight loss to do this. So I spent $107, I believe, and then $375 for the hotel. I'm splitting the room with someone, so that was my part. And then doTERRA, I get doTERRA monthly. It's essential oils, and this month I spent pretty much as the minimum you could because it's a monthly thing. So I got something that I did actually need, but for $7.76. That comes out of miscellaneous. And then my husband got me flowers, y'all. These flowers are so gorgeous, but when he came home with them, I actually was initially upset. All I was thinking about was, that's $20 that we weren't planning on spending. We're doing a no spend month. But y'all, it was Valentine's Day, and he was being sweet, and they're gorgeous. And then one more, $18 on food, but that came out of the soccer account. Whenever we're traveling for soccer, I have a separate account, so that food actually came out of a separate account. So as far as my regular account goes, I use, this is like so stupid simple, or so simple it's stupid, I don't know what to call it, an envelope per month, and this side is groceries and this side is other, okay? And I divide it by the week, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4 sections, right? Awesome thing with this budget is my groceries, I give myself $800 for, but if I do $800 and then I spend all of it here, then the next 2 months or the next 2 weeks I'll end up going over. So I give myself an allowance per week for this. And then on the back, I flip over and I have budgeted $400 a month on soccer. And then I have a gas section. So it's my husband, my son, me. So I budget $400 a month for gas. Just an example, in January we actually spent $339, but we did not travel as much in January. So I just kind of keep track of that. And then I have a savings area, and those things I talked about earlier came out of this savings area. And then my husband gets $100 a month of spending money. He doesn't really use that much usually, but this month he did have to do a class for work, so that was $60. All right, so that's my envelope system, y'all. I've kind of got March's set up already. And then I love that it's an envelope too, because I can put any receipts in here, and then at the end of the week I just file it in my files. And if at the end of the year there's anything for taxes, I've got an envelope for each month. So let me share with y'all how I do my budget if you're interested. I'm very much a pen and paper girl. If you've watched me very long, you know I generally do my food planning on these boards. I don't know if you can even see that over on the wall, but that's my organization area, and that board at the bottom is my food, and then this board is my budget. What I do is I make a section for our income, the different paychecks that we get from different places, and then I write out our expenses. Now, I guessed on this a little bit because, like I said, I have not been following very well my spending, y'all. I just haven't. So I got these that are in purple first, and those are the ones I knew of, and then I started digging through my credit cards. There are so many subscriptions, y'all, that I didn't even realize I had. I have cut most all of those subscriptions for next month. I was shocked. I'm actually going to be able to save like $130 some next month off of subscriptions that I didn't even know I had. So there's a tip. Get rid of those. That's easy money to find. There were just a lot of them that I did not need. Then I have a little category for our debt. I don't include my mortgage here. I put my mortgage up here in my fixed expenses. But debt-wise, student loans, I still pay $153 a month, so that's that. And then over here to our variable expenses. For us, that's gas, groceries, miscellaneous, soccer, and Jason. I kind of went over that when we talked about this envelope system. Anyways, then it goes down to our savings, and this is how much I have auto drafted into different accounts. So just, you know, I have an emergency account. This is just for like, oh, we need to buy new tires, that kind of stuff is what this emergency account is for. Then we are not paying for a car currently, but I'm stashing the money so that when I need to buy a new car, I'll have at least a good down payment. If not, gosh, it would be great if my cars would last enough for it to be the whole thing. Vacation and Christmas accounts. This is a small little investment account that I do. Technically, this is what's left, and we can decide what to do with that. But because I'm not spending on groceries and I'm trying to really limit the miscellaneous, we may actually end up saving more than this. And then when I see how much we are at the very end of the month, then I will put it into one of these sinking funds. So I can just put extra towards Christmas and vacation, or extra, probably I'll plop extra towards the car, because our car is not in the best shape and I don't know how long it's going to last. So when I have extra, I'll probably hit it towards the car. And then also I have a savings account that's not pictured here, that I don't put in any money per month at this point, but it is enough to get us through a few months, you know, if my husband lost his job or that kind of thing. And we also have disability insurance and stuff like that, but that's another separate savings account. These are just the ones that I put, my sinking ones that I put money in every month, if that makes sense. So I've already started working on the March budget. As we get closer to March, this will be exact. This is just kind of a play one right now, but that's what I do. I also have an app that I like to use. Let me see if I can pull this up. This app is just like a backup for me to keep. It's called Simple Budget, and have the envelope system, but I don't use cash, so this is my envelope system here, this along with that. So they're just two ways for me to keep track of what I'm spending in each account. So like for groceries, say I was going to put that here's what I spent at Aldi, $10.27. I just write the amount, where it was, and hit subtract, and it comes off my total monthly budget. So anyways, those are just the different things that I do to work my monthly budget. I don't know if that was helpful to anybody. I like to watch how other people do this kind of stuff, so I thought I'd share how I do it. I am not an Excel girl. I need to learn. I need somebody to teach me. It would be great to have a spreadsheet where it automatically does the subtracting and all of that for you, and the adding and keeping up with it. But I'm a nurse by trade, y'all. I am not a financial person, and I have no idea how to use Excel spreadsheets. Somebody watching this is probably laughing their head off at my system, but this is what works for me. So we're working so hard to get back on track, y'all, and I really think we are. I think we're putting a huge dent in getting back on track this month. All my credit cards are back to $0, and that's where I plan to leave them. It was good chatting with you, and I will be back next Monday for another no spend update on how we've done the rest of that month. And next week I will show you what the fridge and freezers and stuff are looking like at this point, and what our plans are for the next week. Bye, y'all.